Michael Rae here from Drumoig Golf Centre. We're over at Scots Craig Putting Green today, and I'm going to take you through my kind of preferences to get everyone understanding how each individual stroke and setup can work. Right, so right now I'm away to ask Jordan to take his comfortable setup to the golf ball, and we're going to check that the set makeup of his putter, length and lie is correct to how he wants to set up. So Jordan, can you take your comfortable setup visually? Okay, so I'm going to ask Jordan here to take his natural setup to the golf ball to get visually comfortable for him. If you can take that, Jordan, set up naturally, let your arms hang. Take a measure up here, and we are sitting at 33.5 inches, and I would say a little bit flat because of the angle of his arms and his fingers. So let me just check his putter. At that point, I would then measure from the middle and up the shaft, and we're looking pretty spot on, 33.5 inches. So if you can do that again, Jordan, just naturally find your comfortable position. Let the arms hang, move your hands maybe 2-3 inches apart. Do not grab the putter, I'm going to bring it into a comfortable position. Now if you take your setup and grab now, we're looking pretty spot on there. So that's all good for me. So we're now going to use the Perfect Practice laser glasses to understand how eye dominance can influence alignment at setup. So Jordan, if you could just take your setup to the golf ball. So we've understood that you're right eye dominant, so ideally we'd like to see the laser slightly to the left of the golf ball and a little bit on the inside. So we bring that in and drop it just there. You should see it's almost spot on there. Now if you slowly start tracking to the line of the hole, we can then see you find it spot on. Right, so Jordan, what we're going to do here is just identify how an incorrect ball position in accordance to your eye dominance can affect visual alignment. So this ball is now sitting over your wrong eye. Now if you slowly start tracking to the hole, and all of a sudden you've missed slightly. So John, if you can take your natural setup, so we've identified right eye dominant, ball position more central to back of the stand, so the right eye's looking over it. Now the one thing this would lead to would be slightly more shaft lean forward, and I want you to try and focus on holding that angle as you strike sort of smoothly through the ball. This is a Golfsmith loft and lie machine, so really important for me when I do my fittings here that I can customize the putter to each individual player. So most putters come with a standard lie of 70 degrees. So if you imagine we have 0 degrees and then we have a fully upright 90 degrees. So they sit slightly off at roughly about 70, most of the standard lies are, with somewhere between 2 to 4 degrees aloft as a basic setup. So John, we're just going to check natural rotation of your arms and hands here to see which putter would be more suitable for you. So if you take your setup, natural position. Now if you give me 2 or 3 practice swings and just watch your thumbs to see if they are rotating or are they staying pretty much stable through the swing. So a slight rotation naturally, which for me would be more suitable to a slight rotation in your putter head. So now we're going to discuss different styles of putter, including face balance to semi-rotation to then mallet and the classic style blade putter. So I'm going to describe my putter right now. So I have Odyssey White Hot OG Rossi putter, which is a slight rotational face putter to suit my natural kind of tendency. Most putters that come with a 70-degree lie angle, and give or take 3 or 4 degrees depending on each company's preference. Now My putter is set at 74 degrees angle, so it's a little bit more upright with a slightly lower lofted face to suit my preference of how I like to set up to the golf ball. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you through a few different styles of putters and then describe how that can influence each individual. The classic blade style putter, so a lot thinner, a little bit more of a classic kind of gooseneck with more rotation to the face, a little bit less forgiveness in this putter. So we have, next, we have a double wide. So it's kind of blades, old school blade style look, a little bit wider for a little bit more forgiveness. Now, if you then see the difference here to previous, we have a double bend shaft, which then can lead to a putter with slight rotations, not too much in that for someone with limited rotation in their putting stroke. So we're now going to talk about a mid-mallet style head. So a little bit wider back than the double wide previous to us. Now if you look at this here, this is what they call a slant neck. So if I hold it that way, you can see it has a little bit of a kink in the head, which then would lead you to a slightly more rotational face with still the forgiveness. So we're now going to talk about one of the most famous putters probably in golf, number 7, CH it's called. So the reason behind that is it's a kind of mid-mallet again with a crank hosel. So you can see the insert into the head, slightly different to the previous one, which again in turn causes you minimal rotation but a little bit more than standard, also giving you a different visual as you look down on the putter. So we're now going to delve into what you would class more of a kind of mallet style head. So a lot more weight sitting behind the face of the putter, dragging the MOI back the way, giving you a larger sweet spot. Now the one difference again is closer to the mini mallet, it has a crank hosel. So you have the full forgiveness of a large mallet head with a slight rotational face. So again, slightly different visual, same head as before, large mallet in red this time, so sometimes the colour can affect the easier visual for each player. The one difference you can see here again, if I go that way, we are back to our double bend shaft, which then gives us a fully face balanced putter head. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more insight to why being fitted for the correct style of putter is going to benefit your game, but also working with a PGA golf coach, in particular putting expert like myself, how I can then take your game forward to give you a bit more knowledge and understanding of why you particularly struggle in certain areas. And if that would interest you, give me a shout.